Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike other YouTube channels, this is a channel that only showcases shadow Pokemon. So if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate it if you could like, comment and subscribe. So let's get into today's video. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at my first two sets of the Kanto Cup. I've actually not been doing that much GBL recently, and that would be because we've got a Team Rocket takeover event on. So this is one of the very few times in the year, I think the last event was about 5 or 6 months ago, that I'm able to obtain new Pokemon. Unlike people who don't use Shadows, you can pretty much catch something and use it straight away. I have very limited windows, so I'm grinding grunts hard. However, that being said, I've got a very strong team for you. The core of Kanto, Ninetales and Dragonair is amazing. Ninetales is weak to water and ground. Dragonair resists water and hits ground for super effective with Aqua. Dragonair is weak to charm and ice, and Ninetales hits both for super effective. So them two are a beast together. We round this team off with a big thick save swap, which is our rank 9 Shadow Hypno, and it's running Ice Punch and Thunder Punch for no reason other than I'm really low on TMs once again because of the TM event. So without any further ado, let's get into the battles. In game 1, we pick up a neutral lead against Lapras. It's neutral because all of our attacks hit them for neutral. We resist Ice Shard, however Surf does do massive super effective damage. How I like to play this match, I would like to build up to the overheat, and then I often try and switch out into Hypno to catch the move, as you can see here. I've banked a bucket load of energy, which means I can potentially nuke something endgame. We are now met with a save switch of Marowak. This is unfortunate as we're not even going to make a move and this Marowak is almost at full health. Shadow Bone does take us out. However, as I said before, Dragonair and Ninetales do cover each other really well. I can now come in with Dragonair and we are resisting these fire spins. I am going to have to tank this move. I'm going to put faith in Ninetales clutching out this game. We tank the Shadow Bone. It does get us really low. However, as I said, we do resist these fire spins, so we're able to Dragon Breath down. I am now spamming out the Ninetales. Once again, I've banked all that energy. Back out comes the Lapras, and now I am going to start spamming out these Weather Ball. Weather Ball has been nerfed, however, with Shadow Bonus, it does really start to add up. We fire off another Weather Ball before they make a move, so now the opponent is going to be forced to shield, which they do. They're at really low health. I did CMP tie. It's 4 Ice Shards per Surf. I did CMP tie because I know I'd win. I was hoping they'd let it go. In the back is a Poliwrath, so this is really rough as they resist all of our moves. So I do go for the Hail Mary Overheat. Overheat does actually get the shield. Let's see if I can reach a Weather Ball. The Weather Ball is now debuffed as Overheat does debuff your attack. So you can see this hardly does any damage. I'm hoping to try and switch out, but unfortunately I was unable to. They go for the Ice Punch, doesn't actually KO, so I bring back in the Dragonair, which has loads of loaded energy. This Dragon Pulse does one-shot the Poliwrath. We're trying to desperately Dragon Breath down. One Ice Shard takes us out, and one Ice Shard takes out the Ninetales as well. GG's to that opponent. Not off to the best start. However, stick with it because these are my first battles, and we do manage to get some wins in the end. So in this next battle, we picked up a lead against Mew. Mew is pretty bad for our team. I did try and catch the Wild Charge onto Dragonair. They actually overfarm one more and they throw a Flame Charge. This is alright for us as we do resist Flame Charge. However, these Shadow Claws are now doing huge damage. We do draw a shield, and at this stage, I'm just deciding I'm going to sack the Dragonair. Psyshock does come through and does take us out. However, we have got shield advantage. And we all know when shields are down, Shadow Ninetales goes to town. I am going to shield up once and completely commit to the farm down. So this I imagine will be another Psyshock. We are going to shield it up. And now Ninetales is almost at 100 energy. Let's see what they come in with. They're already down 1 shield, so I'm going to throw this Overheat at the Nidoqueen. This will near 1 shot. If it goes unshielded, it does land. They survive with 1 HP and they switch out and we also switch out. Unfortunately for us, there isn't a Alolan Muck in the back. This is dreadful for us. We let a Snarl through as well. So now the win con is going to be, we're going to have to get to 2 moves on Ninetales. I'm just going to sack the Hypno. However, like we said, that Nidoqueen did survive with 1 HP, so I do have to be careful of the potential sack. Unfortunately, we're almost at the Thunder Punch. We get snarled down, which is dreadful. Now we are going to have to shield this up. They're not at the back-to-back just yet. I'm anticipating the swap, so I'm going to not throw, although we would win CMP, so this move is going to get the shield. I would win CMP, however, I thought to try and sack, and perhaps overthinking means we lose game 2. GG to that opponent. Moving on into the next battle. Like I said, we don't go off to the best start, however, from here on in, you're going to see some big victories and some big nukes. We pick up a great lead in game 3, and we now switch out into Dragonair to meet this Blastoise. I think this is just going to be a Hydro Cannon, but I am going to shield up, so I don't want to get hit with an Ice Beam as it would one-shot. You can see this Dragon Breath is absolutely shredding the Blastoise, and just before they get to the next Hydro Cannon, it is 6.5 seconds to a Hydro Cannon. I am just going to take him out of a not very effective Aqua Tail. Back out comes the Sand Slash, and at this stage, we are just going to spam out Aqua Tails. Although we are getting hit with super effective, you can see these Aqua Tails do really add up, and even the Dragon Breath. The Sand Slash now is going to be forced to start shielding. They look like they're committing to the really aggressive farm down. We get the first shield, and now I switch out into Hypno. I don't want to give this Sand Slash any more farms. They're absolutely loaded full of energy. They fire for Bulldoze. I don't know why they've gone for that move, as I think Ice Punch would be better damage per energy. However, at this stage now, we are in the Hypno Mirror. I am going to call the Punch, as I believe that was only 4. It's 5 confusions to the first Shadow Ball. We now also are going to go for a Punch, as this Hypno isn't running Shadow Ball. You can see we get him almost to about half health. Unfortunately, we let a confusion through, which is dreadful, but this Thunder Punch is now going to start getting them quite low. It looks like the opponent is committing to the farm down, which isn't great for us. I'm now waiting out my switch timer, and I know that Ninetales should be in a position here to clutch out this game. I'm going to have to shield one of these punches up, so I decide to shield the first. The Thunder Punch comes through. We are going to be able to tank one. We get the Fire Spin through. This second punch will do around 40% of our HP. You can see we are still quite healthy. We managed to farm down, and now we're at the back-to-back Weather Ball. The first one will get the shield, and the second one is going to clutch out this game. So GG to the opponent. We're now back into winning fashion. Like with any new league and any new team, it does sometimes take a couple of games to adjust, and now we've got that winning taste. Let's see if we can continue the momentum into the next battle. So we lead Ninetales into a Mud Slap Kangaskhan. This is dreadful. We instantly safe swap into Hypno, and they meet us with a Charmer. So we are really going to try and deny the Charm, and we are going to try and take some shields. We do successfully get the denial, and now these Thunder Punches are going to start applying shield pressure. We get the first shield. Unfortunately, we let a Charm through this time, but this Thunder Punch will get them really low, and we should be able to flip switch. The opponent actually chooses to double shield. And you know what that means. When shields are down, I'm not going to say it again. We can just watch the video and find out what happens. Every move from Wigglytuff is resisted, but we've got 2 shields. We are going to have to start shielding up something. So we are going to shield one of these moves. The Charm hardly does anything, and now we are loaded full of energy. Let's see what the opponent comes in with. They come back in with a Kangaskhan. These Mud Slaps would really hurt, so I'm not messing about. I'm going to straight overheat Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan comes straight in and straight out, and in the back they've got a Magneton. We are at the move, so I'm going to shield this move up, and it looks like even with the attack debuff, Ninetales is going to get back-to-back one-shots. 2-stage attack debuff. Let's see if this one-shot. Get out of here, Magneton. Ninetales sweeps that team. Moving on into the next battle. We pick up a neutral lead. If you play Kanto Cup, you are going to see Hypno leads are absolutely everywhere. We both try and go for the extra fast move. They actually managed to get a denial. I am going to respect this in case the Shadow Ball, they have got the energy. It's just a punch. I am now going to fire back a move of my own. Unfortunately, they do get a confusion through, which is pretty bad for us, but we do manage to get the shield. At this stage, I know they are going to outpace us to the to the overheat, so I just throw a Weather Ball. We do CMP tie, so at this stage, I'm just going to let the Ninetales go down. Hypno is now energy dry. They look like they undercharged that to get a little bit of extra farm. And now I'm going to come in with my Dragonair and look to commit to the farm down. They've shown Thunder Punch. Ice Punch would near one shot, but I'm going to call the Thunder Punch again. A massive call there. We managed to save our shield. We're ahead on energy. And now
let's see what we're going to go in with. In the back, they've got a Venusaur. So here we need to try and confusion completely down. You can see it's going to be close. They're in the yellow. We shield up this Frenzy Plant. I am now desperately trying to commit down. 5, that's 6. Just as they reach the Frenzy Plant, Hypno manages confusion down. And now Hypno is loaded full of energy. Will Hypno be able to clutch out this game? In the back is a Wigglytuff. We are loaded full of energy. Dragonair really doesn't want to see this Wigglytuff. Once again, we are firing off the Thunder Punch. I really need to get this shield. We do get the shield. And now at this stage, this Thunder Punch will get him into Aqua Tail range. So now my switch timer is up. Thunder Punch gets him fairly low. And we can get a Dragonair is a Wigglytuff counter confirmed. Aqua Tail comes through. We get a bit of lag. Perhaps the opponent has closed the app. But that Aqua Tail registers and we take that game. GG to that opponent. Another great battle there. You can see Wigglytuff isn't really a threat for this team as Hypno and Ninetales do really well, and at least we can hit it for neutral with the Aqua Tails. In this matchup, we pick up a really difficult lead. Marowak is really good against Ninetales. They can hit us for super effective with Bone Club, and obviously they can hit Hypno for super effective with Shadow Bone. I do, however, switch into Hypno after tanking one move, because I don't want to reveal my hard counter of Dragonair. We correctly shield up the Shadow Bone. Looks like the opponent is staying in. So I now throw this Thunder Punch when they're in about Thunder Punch range. We do now draw the shield. The fact that they have stayed in, I've got a decision to make. I hardly ever like to go down 2 shields. However, the fact they have stayed in, perhaps they've got a poison type in their back. So I do commit my second shield, and now we completely farm down and we are loaded full of energy. And they've actually got a Lapras. So once again, that banked energy we got on Ninetales could potentially do massive damage with an overheat. However, Hypno is putting in a lot of work here. They are going to have to start shielding these Thunder Punches. Unfortunately, we are letting Ice Shards through, but they actually just completely sack the Lapras. This is great for us. I'm hoping that whatever's in the back, a loaded Ninetales and Dragonair can handle. They switch out into Shadow Poliwrath, and once again, we can only hit him 4 resisted. So I am going to go straight for the Hail Mary overheat. Again, we draw the shield, and now I switch out into Dragonair. I am hoping that this Poliwrath is running Scald and Dynamic Punch. We do actually call the moveset correctly, so Dragonair potentially can clutch out this game. We go for this resisted Aqua Tail, as I'm not going to make the Dragon Pulse. You can see resisted, it does do quite a lot of damage. Well, they do get to another last minute move, but this should put the Poliwrath into a range where Ninetales can Fire Spin down. You can see we got the move, which I don't throw. We commit to the Fire Spin down, and this Weather Ball is going to be enough to take the Lapras out. So once again, we managed to clutch up this game after a really difficult lead. GG to this opponent. You can see the core of Ninetales and Dragonair really putting in work. Moving on into the next battle. Once again, we see a Hypno lead. This Hypno is actually Shadow, which is obviously a bit worse for us, as these confusions have already got us down to half health. We do get the Fire Spin in. We are once again going to have to shield this move up. Again, it is a Thunder Punch. And now I go for this Weather Ball. We managed to deny the confusion. If you do throw after 1 Fire Spin, you should only give away 1 turn. I actually really aggressively bank that energy and I switch into Hypno of my own to catch the Thunder Punch. Let's see what they've got in the back. Once again, we are hard countered with an Alolan Mach. So once again, we are just going to sack this Hypno. Sorry Hypno, I do like you, but numerous times in this video you are just being sacked. But this is where you are going to see how good Shadow Dragonair is. This Mach is on Snarl, which you can see does hardly any damage whatsoever. You can see we've got the Mach down deep into the yellow and we've hardly lost any HP whatsoever. That's 2, that's 3, and before they even get to the second move, we completely commit to the farm down and we are loaded full of energy. In the back is a Blastoise. This is quite rough for us. Obviously Ninetales doesn't want to see this Blastoise. They've got 2 shields. I do bait the first time. Let's see if they've got any idea where my energy is at. The second time I am going to throw the Hail Mary. We almost one-shot that Blastoise. The opponent does stop tapping. It looks like they've quit the match, so GG to that opponent. Not only Ninetales is throwing nukes, Dragonair also loves to throw the nuke. GG to that opponent. Moving on into the next battle. Yet again, we pick up a dreadful lead against Marowak. Let's see if we can come back from this one. Once again, we are going to tank this first move. The Bone Club, although it is a naff move, does get us down below half health, and now I aggressively switch into Hypno. The opponent is going to throw once again, and I am going to now respect this Shadow Bone because I don't want to sack the Hypno straight away. They actually switch out into a Magneton. This is where I really wish I had Fire Punch. However, Ice Punch does draw the shield as Magneton is super squishy. You can see these confusions are absolutely shredding them. My Hypno's IVs are really good. It's like a rank 7 or 8. So I call that we will survive, which we do, which is a huge call as we are now going to get off another move. Ice Punch, even resisted, does do massive damage. Now, we're in the one shield. Let's see if we can manage to farm down with Dragonair. Unfortunately, we cannot. I am just going to tank this move. Magnet Bomb is going to hurt. You can see it does around 75%. However, if they come back in with Marowak, I know we do resist the Fire Spin. They do come back in with Marowak. Before they even get to the Bone Club, I fire off this Aqua Tail. Let's see if the opponent wants to commit their last shield. They actually don't. They're putting it all on Lapras. So like you've seen in this video already, we are going to shield up this Surf because it would one-shot us. Well, I say one-shot. We've hardly got any HP left. Now the opponent has to call whether we're going to bait or whether we're going to nuke. And you know my playstyle. We go for the overheat. Overheat lands. We fire spin down and we take that game. So GG's to that opponent. So you can see that we did lose the first couple of battles, but now we're putting on a really hot streak. Moving on into this next battle. Yet again, we pick up the Shadow Hypno lead. You've seen how I like to play this game. Sometimes I do try and sneak the move in. Unfortunately, we don't sneak it that time. We shield up the Thunder Punch, and this time I've decided I am going to go for the Hail Mary. As every time I've gone for the Weather Wall, they haven't shielded. I go for the Overheat. That one-shots the Hypno, and they switch into Pidgeot. So now I switch into my Hypno. We do CMP tie to this move. I'm going to call the Feather Dance as pretty much all these stupid Pidgeot users love to bait, which is a mistake from the opponent as they could have one-shot us there. They switch out now into a Dugong. Although we are 2-stage debuffed on our attack, these confusions and Thunder Punches do really add up. Dugong Hypno is pretty neutral, but obviously even though we are debuffed, you can see the Shadow variant does do quite well in this matchup. At this stage, we are going to allow the Hypno to go down as we are debuffed and we'd be better off investing in something else. So we are going to bring back in the Ninetales. I throw this Weather Ball before they get to the next Icy Wind. This should do a nice chunk of damage. They actually shield up. And at this stage, I'm going to shield this move up and I'm expecting them to make an aggressive swap into the Pidgeot. There is the Pidgeot. So now I bring out the Dragonair. Dragonair is going to outpace to this next charge move. This Aqua Tail is going to be enough. And even though we are getting hit with super effective Ice Shard, the Dugong's going to be unable to farm us down, and that is going to be the win con. The opponent is desperately trying to farm us down. However, the Shadow Dragon Breath is just too oppressive. We do manage to survive, and the Aqua Tail and one Dragon Breath takes them out. So GG's to that opponent. So you did see at the start of the video, we did manage to lose the first 2 games. We actually went on a 7-1 run after that. Unfortunately, one game didn't record. It was just like 3 seconds of my lost screen. For some reason, it just didn't record. But you can see there that this team is super strong. I'd highly recommend the pairing of Dragonair and Ninetales. If you've got these mon available, I would recommend the Shadow variant, but obviously I know that's quite unattainable for some people. The regular versions would work really well, and you just need a safe swap. You can either use something like Hypno, Marowak, or maybe Amok, just to round the team off, just to try and flip that mid game. So like I said, I haven't been playing that many battles, but I am going to try and stick out with the regular uploads. I am grinding them Rocket Grunts because I do want to bring as much exclusive Shadow content as I can to the channel. I'd just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.